What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. So when a big patch comes out for Sons of the Forest, everyone and their brother makes a video on it. So I'm not going to go into all the patch notes. I'm sure a ton of people already have done that. I'm just going to point out a few important things that they added quickly, and then put a microscope on the advanced cooking system. I'll make sure that all my stats are completely depleted for each one, so we can test all of the 10 recipes and see which ones are good, bad, and hopefully not awful. So the first change that stood out to me is tree regrowth. And some people like this, some people don't. Luckily for you, if you go into gameplay in the options, you can turn it on or off, so it shouldn't really upset anybody. I mean, I really don't have an opinion on this. I think it's a 10% chance to regrow when you sleep. The only input that I'm going to put on this, because we found plenty of bugs so far, I know it's in early access, is I see a 10% chance of a tree growing through my base. You can also play the guitar now. And we're a prodigy. We're just shredding right out of the gate. You hear those licks? Are you kidding me? Now to play the guitar, all you have to do is hold right click. One of the biggest and probably most popular, I couldn't believe they didn't add this earlier on in the game, are the basic and advanced log sled. Now, for some reason, mine only says log sled for advanced log sled. I don't know if yours does. They're quite expensive, especially the advanced log sled. That's pretty expensive, so I'm going to build both of these. We'll see if it's worth it real quick. So here's what they look like. They're both pretty much the same size. One is decorated a little more. I'm sure somebody went over this. The basic one can hold 8 logs. The more advanced one can hold 12. The advanced one also has lights in the front. I mean, when you're driving it, it really doesn't do anything. But I guess it does make it easier to find at night, which is nice. So the next one I think is a little quirky, but you can add a tarp to any floor or roof. I don't know what you would actually do with this. Maybe make a bouncy castle for Kelvin? I don't know. And you can walk through it too, which is also... We'll definitely find a bug out of this. Here's the location on the map for the 2 crashed sailboats. One is the Good Times, one is the Evening Star. The Good Times has a guaranteed cooking pot, and that's what this video is going to be about. Now, you don't have to get it here. You can get these all over the place. You can get them in cannibal camps, abandoned camps. They're spread all over the place. And there is other useful items in this boat as well. Now for the Evening Star, there's, again, a bunch of useful items. Like cloth, etc. And there's also the new video. I'm not going to pick it up. I don't want to spoil it for you. Okay, so a few more things I want to add before we get to testing the cooking system. They added 79 new ponds and 34 more lakes. Now, people got really excited, but I think that they may have misread this because they said that they added it to the map. Now, I don't know. With that many new locations, I mean, it should be pretty obvious. I've went around and I haven't noticed anything too obvious. I think they may have just added it to the GPS map, because that does appear to be very different now. Our buddy Kev also got an upgrade to his AI that he can fill log carts with logs. He can fill drying racks with fish, which he's actually really good at. That's very helpful. He can reset traps, which people might disagree. I think this is a little broken, and if you ever built a defensive wall, it's miserable. It takes forever to chop all the things down. I mean, I think the new meta now is just to put up bone maker traps and have Kev keep resetting them. Okay, so the first recipe is boiled meat, and it's also the cheapest. The only thing you need is water in the pot, which you need for every single recipe, and then just add 2 meat. Now it's going to take some time to cook this, about a minute. To rate these, I'm going to use this one as the baseline because it's the cheaper, and this fills up 1/4 of your hydration and 1/4 of your hunger. The second one is chicken noodle soup. I don't know where the chicken is, but we'll go with it. That requires 2 arms and ramen. Now, interestingly enough, the results are the same. You get 1/4 hydration and 1/4 hunger filled per sip. The third one is cream of mushroom. That requires 3 fly amanita, 3 hydnum rapandum. I feel like I'm talking in Harry Potter language. 3 shiitakes, and 3 king oysters. Again, we end up as the same as the boiled meat, so the boiled meat's looking like the one right now, because, I mean, for 2 meat, you don't have to go through getting all this other stuff. I mean, you get the same exact results. The fourth one is eggnog, which requires 5 eggs and 1 vodka bottle. This is one of the few that stand out, and it's not for a good reason. This recipe is garbage. All you get is 1/8 of your hunger filled and 1/8 of your hydration filled. It's terrible. The fifth one is Greg. Apparently, there's a Devidenite that doesn't like somebody named Greg because you're pretty much cooking an entire human body. It's 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Again, you get the same result as boiled meat. The sixth one is the Kelvin Special, which requires 3 fish and an oyster. And again, it's the same results as boiled meat. Now, spoiler alert, this is the best one. The Kitchensink requires 2 eggs, ramen, 2 oysters, 2 meat, 2 king oysters, and 2 fish. Every time I take a sip, I get 1/4 hydration, 1/4 hunger, and 1/4 sleep back. The 8th one is liquid battery, and this one's cool because it's different. This requires 10 guarana and 10 blueberries. Now, instead of hunger like most of the other ones, this gives you back 1/4 of your hydration and sleep. The lumberjack juice is another more expensive one. Requires 2 arms, a med, 3 meat, and 3 fish. Now this one's disappointing because for how expensive that is, especially the med, when I take a sip, I'm only getting the same thing as boiled meat. The final one is a protein shake. Requires meat, an egg, fly amanita, aloe, and 3 guarana berries. Out of all of them, this is probably the most disappointing because again, you get the same result as boiled meat, and it requires quite a bit of ingredients. I hope you appreciate that I did the testing for you. If you learned anything, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Till the next one, I'll see you.